Welcome back, everyone. And there you're seeing Evil Geniuses fresh off of their win on Split as they put Leviathan backs against the ropes. But yet again, this is a familiar position that EG has found themselves in, and I'm left wondering, what's in that bag? I really want to know.
No, that was Skittles Jogamo just put in his pocket.
Oh,
what's that basketball player that used to eat Skittles?
Yeah.
For the Lakers?
I don't know. Do you think he just has him in there during the game? He's just like, oh, that was a good round.
Yeah.
I'm going like my NBA brain right now, and I cannot remember. But in any case, though, guys, obviously with that win, massive win for EG, puts them up 1-1 here, as you can see. And I think what's important to note here is that when EG were struggling, Mimi, they didn't falter, and that was what we wanted them to do, close out. But they've done this on Split before.
It looked like they were going to fall apart in that first half. They lose that one pivotal round, and then it looks tragic from there on out. But in this second half, they really recouped. They had a strong start into the half, and then they just closed out with these fantastic retakes throughout. Leviathan was just leaning into this same game plan of, okay, we go B, we can get Heaven control, then we late split into site and take it. And they just did that round after round after round, and EG seemed like they just had the number.
Yeah, this was a ridiculous second half to watch. It's like a case study on what Valorant would look like if there was only one site. That's I don't know why. I went back and I watched every single round. There was only one death in the B site, and it was Taco dashing in, and then the team was like, nah, we don't want to go B.
Yeah.
And they went all the way back to A. There was no B pressure
But to do
all
A
game.
that much, it's like the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again,
Like
expecting the same result.
And it's like the Leviathan Classic, honestly, where they have this strong game plan coming in of what they want to do, and when they're in the face of opposition, this team can sometimes struggle to find a new answer. And that seemed to be a case here. Credit to EG, because they exploited it well. Even if it was that same site every time, there was iterations. Sometimes it was the full fast split. Sometimes it was into Heaven, then late hitting into site. There was changes, but EG was still consistently able to counter that one out. And now they're 1-0 up in a series in a map that really should have gone to Leviathan.
Yeah, and, we needed to see some key players step up. And since this team was formed, all eyes were on Jogamo.
Yeah.
Right? Because he, going into Challengers, excellent player. A lot of people felt like this kid's got the gift. He's going to be able to push his team to the next level. And although he's been a little quiet here, Sean, it is really refreshing to see him doing what he does best, and that's clicking on heads.
Yeah, and back on this duelist role, I know of Jogamo as like a Jet Rays player, but this season he's played a lot of controller ever since BCJ stepped back as the sixth player on the team. We've seen a lot of Harbor, Omen, Astra even sometimes coming out of Jogamo, but here his Rays was so good in the second half. I want to say in the first half he had like 5 or 6 kills. Second half was like 15. Incredible on the retakes, value out of the showstopper. Dominant in middle, which filtered all of those A hits to happen. So I think he's a big reason why Leviathan looks so one-dimensional.
His satchel pathing is excellent on those retakes, sometimes using it offensively to clear an angle, sometimes going for those big executes where he's double satcheling through. He just looks so comfortable with his util usage when he's playing on the Rays. And honestly, I want to see more maps where this guy's playing Rays. The controller Jojimo, if it's Omen, it hits though. The Jojimo
I think the Omen's fine. We could be okay with the Omen, but I feel like in all of the instances though, it's like Artis or oh my God, I'm blanking on the other one that I was thinking of, but it's like you just want to put these players on those star roles, right?
Guys,
and I think Jogamo could be that guy.
I got some bad news. We got Pearl next, and I'm pretty sure Demon's gonna be on Jet. And I don't know if there's gonna be room for a raise.
That's fair.
Yeah, well, remember last time, they went for that weird composition where they pivoted to him on Killjoy, actually.
Yeah, well, you know what, though?
Yeah.
Remember
that
they
gives
went
us
away
an
from the
opportunity.
Gecko gimmick, and then it was so weird.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. It gives us an opportunity, though, to talk about what we're going to see in map number 2. Let's get ready for our Aim Lab shoot around. We got King on the dock, and I think, maybe to that point, it's like, yes, we're going to Pearl. We're not going to see these things. Maybe we see, some uniqueness coming out here, but you have to be wondering, what is going on with Leviathan right now? Because they have to be frustrated with losing out on Split like that.
This is a team who will not take losing lightly. Owner is back there right now, drilling them, getting them ready for the second map, because this is one where it'll be shocking if they lose Pearl to EG. This has been their best map. They're 4-0 on it right now. They've beaten some of the top teams in our league in really strong fashion. And, I mean, we're going to their home ground. Surely this should be a map they win.
not only have they looked strong on Pearl, but unlike some of the other maps, I think they've evolved their Pearl as this season has gone on. They've gotten stronger on it sometimes when I watch. They've added to these B executes where Taco's going into heaven, going into the backhauls of B. Now they have multiple variations that look very similar. Same thing approaching the A site. As the seasons progress, their playbook's gotten so deep because it seems like every series they're allowed to get this Pearl pick in. And when that happens, the playbook just keeps building and building and building and building. And now we're at this point. And I feel like if Leviathan blow this map, that would be so detrimental to their season. It would be catastrophic, actually.
It really would be. And for EG, they've had some interesting approaches to this map. They started off playing that kind of gecko gimmick that had some really nice ideas, but was never able to get them a map win. And last week versus Loud, that's where the infamous 0-13 loss happened. They pivoted to this double initiator comp that we've never seen before, which was a Fade and a Sky with a Harbor Astra. Was it Harbor Astra? It was a double controller.
Astra,
yeah, it was a really
Killjoy.
interesting composition. And I thought the game plan was around, okay, we can flash the same time we use this Fade Hunt to spam through. I thought it was like an anti-Harbor Viper comp, which I was like, cool, this is a really interesting idea. But we just never saw it because they got 13-0'd.
Yeah, they didn't have a lot of looks to open things up on their attack half. And again, I mean, listening to the Loud players at the end of that game, they were saying we had no fears. And the other maps, Demon 1 was patrolling around on this jet roll. And it's a little scary, right? Opening these areas, he could be around any corner. But you could see the way Loud approached EG on Pearl, they disrespected him. Les was in the back lines almost every round. They were taking gunfights everywhere. And I'm scared that that could happen to EG again without duelists in their comp.
I just hope that for EG and their camp, they went back and this was the map that they boot camped all week long. This was the map that they made sure that they did not allow that to happen again, because you know if you're going up against Leviathan, chances are you're going to run into Pearl.
They've got to know that this map was in the pool. And I think a difference between the last two series of Super Week and this one is that they've already shown us mental resiliency. They didn't come out and dominate map number 1 like they did against Loud. It looked like they were going to lose, but they regrouped in the second half. They kept their mental strong, and they adapted to win that one out. And if that's the EG we're looking at, one who is improving at their fundamentals, has an ability to adapt in the middle of games better than the first few weeks EG that we ended up watching, then I actually have a thought that it's very possible that they could win this one out with the form Lev is in right now.
I say fundamentals, schmundamentals. I want to see Ethan on Yoru again. That was the best we've seen EG when they played Pearl. Man, they had so many trap plays that lock in. On that Yoru comp, I'm just reflecting back on that. I think that was the last time we saw, EG look really good on Pearl and have a complete playbook. I haven't seen that when they run this Gecko comp or the new Harbor stuff they're doing. It's always missing pieces. And the only time they nailed it was at lock-in.
I somewhat disagree. I think the Gecko comp had a lot of merit. I felt like I saw enough in there that could kind of justify them running it. But I agree with you that in their second half, their attack sides generally struggled. They had the idea, and they didn't have that further amount of depth that they did have with that Fade Yoru. So I think they have a lot of options where to head on comp, and immediately Demon 1 is on Jet. That's good. I'm happy.
Yeah, that's a plus. Now we're in Agent Select here. And no surprise really across the field. You're going to get Taco as well repping the Jet. But yeah, I think, both of you guys bring up really, really good points about, the mentality and how these players want to try and approach this. But I think for EG, you kind of just got to stick to what works rather than trying to get clever.
And it looks like they are going to be going back to the Harbor Viper composition. At least that would be my expectation around the Jet. It will probably just be a mirror matchup here. Comlot's in the Viper. So it should just be that mirror with Boostio likely going for Killjoy.
Yeah, and I mean, Boostio has a lot of work to do. It seems like a lot of these teams, when they go up against Leviathan, the way they approach this B site, leaving the Killjoy there solo to hold it with a Viper roll, with a hard roll, it never plays out too well. Leviathan gets in post plants, and they will spam you to death through the control utility from long B. Can EG have a solution to hold B on defense, but on attack side, can they take it?
on that offense, what I'm looking for is once they get that spike down, being proactive in the post plant, pushing forward with Demon One, denying Leviathan's game plan. Because if they're allowed to play into these retakes, they'll run you over on Pearl.
Yeah, well, it's time to jump into the map here. EG can close it out with 2-0, or Leviathan can force a map 3. But let's go ahead and send it over to your casters who, funny thing, they actually had indie wrestling careers. They went by Doug the Animal Cortez and Superfly Baller T-Dubs.
I think yours is cooler. I'm not gonna lie.
The Animal?
Superfly's hard, bro.
Yeah, that's pretty. That goes hard.
I mean, that does. Pearl on the cards. EG once again find themselves 1-0 in a series against a team that statistically they probably should not be up 1-0 on. And it almost feels harder this time because this is, again, a map where Leviathan farm.
Yeah. I mean, I love that they switched the comp. I mean, they just got 13-0'd. It's very nice to see them go to the meta.
Yeah.
In this instance, it took a little prodding.
I know, 13 prodding.
And a 13-0 prodding. Maybe a paddling, but they are now on the meta. I think this is nice because this is a map that is pseudo-solved, right? This is a map where this B-long pressure is just so good consistently. But you're right, this is a big ask, I think, to come back from a 13-0 and go up against a team who is 4-0 in record on this map. Let's see what they can do, though, because they've had some pretty significant ideas on this map. Shy's gonna, or Boostier's gonna get pushed up here. How is he not dead? And how is he getting one in that situation?
That's criminal that he gets that much.
And there was spike not planted, though, so this flank is actually going to start to have some value because of how much time they actually have to regroup and retake. But 4v4 retake, and there's a shorty backhaul.
Right there.
We only had one of those this series, a shorty kill.
And Demon One baited Giacomo here, too. They're coming from the other side, though. This might get neutralized. Trailblazer 2 stuns him up.
He's stunned, he's spammed, he's dead. Ethan with 24 HP, he's gonna have to get through the cove, and that's gonna take forever. You've got help from all over the place if you're Lev.
Beautiful.
Very well done.
I love the amount of ways that Leviathan is able to play around their cove.
Yeah.
A lot of times, teams just are throwing it down, trying to defuse, and not really using it to combo. There, you actually use the cove to bait out the spam from EG so that they're trying to break it on pistol around that super key, but then they flash on top of it. So they're guaranteed to get some pings with that flash and get some blinded players that they can swing with. Just really nice stuff. And there they have multiple, I mean, 2 or 3 different ways to play with the cove, and that's only around the defuse too. They could use that aggressively, they could use that to get around angles. Leviathan, I think, grouped up with Loud, might be one of those 2 teams that are really, really pushing the harbor to its limits.
EG getting the orb, going A. They are going to be pushing right into this Killjoy utility.
And this is a tough hit. Giacomo really, I mean, he's going to actually not even block off Art. Can he do it? No. That harbor wall really difficult to hit around the side. And they push him all the way off. The Molly actually finds him, though. I'm surprised he walked into that. With the decay, too, that just melted him. They will get the plant, though. No, they won't.
Giacomo's already fallen. Nazra from backside is continuing to cause problems.
And there's the high tide, too. They can flood behind this. The spike is given up to them.
Ah, that's a good... And that's one. That's a second for Boostio.
One enemy remaining.
Dude, again, EG are just... I mean, ultimately, they lose that round, but... You're getting some of these scrappy, unexpected kills.
Yeah, Boostio's a sheriff demon. He always has been. It hasn't fully been converting into a good eco round win rate for EG. Like the likes of Cloud9, but I mean, who can reach the skies like that?
Placing swarm grenade.
Now, a bonus attempt from Leviathan. I think in the past, it's been a lot of mid pressure. They're going to go for that again. I really don't like that choice, given the fact that they've done it so many times. EG, really good at counter-stratting. Is there an idea here?
The idea seems to be get the orb towards A first and then reset. Leave Giacomo into place in case there's any aggression. from the defensive side. Meanwhile, Demon 1 playing around this and Shy. Dancing with death.
I mean, Shy has been, in some instances, worked on Belong.
Yeah.
Against Khalil when they had that Furia game. But not quite getting taken out by Demon 1 there.
So Opener dropping Mizuno, and Nazar's already rotating back towards B. They've left Taco in a spot where he can anchor A by himself.
I think one of the different approaches here against teams who are really solid on B-long retakes is holding B-link control. They've left Boostio alone there, but they have taken control of Sewer, so he's pretty much safe out of flank here.
I mean, they've made it to where Shy can't really play the game
They're not
either.
on site yet,
Cascade, a high tide. But there is a gap to where they take backside control, and you see King just took some of that space. It's just the Sheriff, though. Molly, Boostio, patient. Finally going down. King on the swing, and King is dead.
I suggest you
Well traded back,
move.
though, from Shy. Reckoning invested.
That's Jogamos.
One enemy remaining.
They're making it work right here. On the anti-bonus, there was a chance, but now Taco has no clue about Calm. That's a good conversion. I mean, I think a lot of things they're succeeding. That B-Link push, instantly taking out Mizuno. I'm surprised, given how good Mizuno was on Split at finding not only the information, but that kill too. He swung way too wide there. And also this situation where
Enemy remaining.
EG took a long time to get on site there. I love Boostio's call to just wait for the high tide to go down. Because nobody saw his position. Now we've got up from Taco though. It's a glass cannon. And it's focused towards A where EG is walking down this B site with the regular B-long control cascade.
See Ethan considering using a Trailblazer, but they have to go for the lockdown instead. Just waiting it out.
It's a complete spam battle right now.
Yeah.
They have to get off site. Spam trying to catch them as they fall off. One detained.
Again, a Cascade layered with a high tide, this time for help.
Look at this follow-up from Boostio, just deep into B-Link.
King's in trouble. He's stuck. It's all just a matter of how patient Boostio is.
Here.
Off the wall, the Molly.
That hurts.
Yep, taking some damage. but
Cascade's
deep flash
blocking
to
him
help. Boostio drops. It's just 2 left for EG here. And 2 turns into 1 very quickly. Comps him backside the entire time.
Can he hit a 1v3 again?
Yeah, there's no cove. There's nothing to protect.
Yeah.
And they're spread too thin.
That's a great angle for Taco to take there.
Yep.
Knowing Com's gonna be playing post plant. Just gets up on the box, is able to see over the map there. And that's a fantastic retake from Leviathan. Again, they're so good on this map, and that is why. Those retakes on the B side are something that nobody else is able to achieve.
Not to the same degree. I mean, not even close.
And the funny part is they're actually only second in the league on retake stats. Second to Cloud9. But they play such different styles. Cloud9 is a team that is really fighting hard to get advantage on this site before the plant goes down, whereas Leviathan is happy to give it up. So you're talking full retakes versus, you know, 3v3, 2v2s.
A different defensive setup here from Lev. Last couple of rounds, it had been Taco who was holding A main, set up there from the utility from Nazar. This time they flipped, and it's actually Shy who's anchoring it.
Yeah, but it's funny, actually. EG finding the right choices on both sides. This round, they're going for the A control default instead of the B-long control. There's a cap here, but it's just going to walk through and almost takes down Mizuno. A good attempt on the eco.
Com's going to try to do a bit of the same.
Healing over here.
Unfortunately met with the same result, though.
It's a little sad that that might actually deter them from going for that again. Because I think there's a weakness there from Leviathan.
Dash out from Demon 1.
Destroyed.
He just tries to bully Shy in the face of all of his utility, and it's just not enough.
Look at the fast Trailblazer reclear. Flood from Leviathan. That is beautiful stuff on the anti-eco. And off to a hot start. I mean, considering some of the prior halves that Leviathan has had on this map, you're expecting a really, really good defense. If EG can't start to chip away at these holds, at these retakes, And you might see what was expected on this map very quickly.
It was a hot start for them on split too. And it wasn't really until a couple of rounds into the first half that they started to get going. EG did, so we'll see if they're ahead of forecast or right on time. This time from Taco mid. This is now the third area he's explored off the flash. He's so dead, man.
That is brutal. I mean, again, Sean talked about how because of the amount of officials that you're playing here as Leviathan, you're starting to expand this strat book to ridiculous depths, but
King, but Demon knows.
Last player standing.
Com knows more too.
hero play attempted.
Yeah,
the
but
only play.
Heady from EG though to expect that.
I was mentioning though, the depth of the playbook expanding because you have the more officials played on the map. But it also gives so much tape, so you know some of the tendencies. Despite whether your depth is big or not, you still have so much footage to ante from. And that's a play Leviathan goes for at least once a game. That paired up with like maybe the stylistic eco round that they go for where they molly up top map and fight belong. That's something that we might get sooner rather than later here. Still plenty of bank for Leviathan though.
Just well timed by EG. I mean, you can see it on the mini-map, the aftermath of it. They were ahead of it. They knew what was coming. They had two players set up in main, or in mid, excuse me. Yeah, they were just ahead of the play the entire time. So the round felt like it was decided just a couple of seconds in. Leviathan have to save. Shy's going to carry that weapon into the next round. While EG, you can see their buy. For them to carry 4 weapons into this, and the fact that nobody took damage, so nobody has to buy up armor again. It's just a little bit of utility. Money looks good for EG moving forward.
And Demon One's actually picked up the op from Taco too. I was wondering why Shy wasn't going to pick up the op, but then I noticed Demon One had it.
You can't just shoot. You have to think.
So he has the opportunity to take some challenges. Are you going to make the right guess at challenging?
One enemy remaining.
Taco, wherever he goes, he does have that op still online, but actually it swaps over to Boostio for the EG side.
Really? Man, blades for Demon One.
Yeah, that speaks to the fact that they may want to up the pace through mid here.
Now. Placing swarm
The fact that Demon One has his knives. It's interesting because a lot of times that serves as a nice supplement to the op.
Poison orb emitting.
But the money situation, they're really trying to get this bank up. And Demon One's such a good knives player that this is a nice choice.
You mentioned them wanting to perhaps pick up the pace mid, and I mean, they're not rewarded with the same amount of kills. The graveyard that they left in the previous round is not to be found this time, but they've taken that area of the map. They've also left Calm in case anyone pushes in through B-Link.
I've got your trail.
And they've dropped Seekers. This is going to be brutal. I mean, Shy's got to get out of there.
Turret broken too. Dash might be wasted. They have retake tools here. Reckoning. Lockdown too, but there it is.
There goes the lockdown.
Demon One's movement there is fantastic. He gets up on top of the box and then flies over top of the hut in the middle of sight.
Getting an aggressive angle just as the anchor should be leaving. So well played.
King though, that pit forces them way back. The plant is in church. He's hunting with that shorty.
Deep Trailblazer off of the Seekers. Calm's timing is gorgeous. The Molly less so, but all good. You get the kills. King with 2 though. Not able to get the third. Mazzino is though.
Pit falling.
Cove there too, but it was just a Molly all over the place. There's Boostio's op. Mazzino left in this 1v2. Molly sticks to half, swings around, and Boostio's there to greet. It's EG get 3.
Incredibly clean stuff out of EG, and you see some prep there. Some of the ideas, I love what Demon One did in this round again. Just phenomenal pathing as the Jet Knives player.
I mean, Demon One with the pathing, Calm with the timing on the flank mid.
Yeah, I had no clue what was happening as soon as they were the Seekers popping. I was like, what is going on? But it's funny because those were Noswers, if I'm not mistaken. So, I mean, maybe the exchange too. Just tough to deal with.
Yeah, or perhaps too quick, yeah. Calm's timing quite nice. And truth be told, a quite nice start from EG too. I think it was They've won the last 2 rounds, and I want to say it was right after you said EG have to find some momentum here, or else it's just going to be an absolute stomp, and Leviathan have a chance to run away with it.
Yeah, honestly, given what we saw last week, this is already, what we've seen so far is already enough to tell us that we're going to have a battle here on Pearl.
Yeah.
Even though Leviathan, this is easily their best map, and Mimi said this is probably the best Pearl team in the league right now. Potentially even in the world, with how they have started in this league. The Americas teams have definitely shown a really strong foot on this map. And Leviathan somehow, someway, have come out looking fantastic. Loud has taken a beating on this map against Sentinels. It's unclear at this point. Let's see if EG can bounce back from a 13-0 loss on this very map against one of the best teams on it.
If not the best. Very quickly here, Boostio still has the op. We wondered if last time it was because of the blades. No, it's because they want to go fast with Demon 1. And Taco dashed right into his death.
I mean, that's a...
I don't know if he was flashed and accidentally went the wrong way.
No, he threw his smoke there, so he wanted to dash forward. I've seen Taco with some missed dashes before, but...
That wasn't one.
That wasn't one.
I wonder if we're nearing what would be Lev save early territory.
Toxins going up.
They have 2 Phantoms. Interesting here. They're going to rotate all the way back to B. Even in the face of the high tide going up from EG. They're committed to this B hit. Heavily outnumbered here, too. Shy has his ult. Comp's already set up, bro.
Time to hunt.
This is going to be difficult for them to handle.
It's a nice full clear.
30 seconds left.
Nice spam, though. They actually find Demon 1 going for it. And it's a 2v2 all of a sudden. They're locked down to the back of sight, too. That Spike has to recover to get out.
It was just 2 Phantoms.
He's going forward?
Had to make a play to try to drop the lockdown, I guess, with time being short.
I mean, okay. What a hold from Leviathan, a thrifty. And they've all of a sudden, they've picked up the op that Demon 1's continued to carry forward. And they've gotten destroyed. That was a 3v5 thrifty.
It was a 3v5 with light weaponry. There was a stinger in the hands of one of those players.
I mean, finding that spam immediately, Nosworth,
Yeah.
onto Demon 1, that changes everything. That updraft is so difficult to deal with, but you could see playing really passive, in a sense, is able to actually reward you from some wild angles.
Taco back with the op, holding mid. But once again, aggression, not that way.
Ultimate
Start
ready.
to see some of that harbor utility, but Jogamo with Reckoning online.
Reckoning, Pit, KJ lockdown. This is a tough hold. I mean, almost all the tools to take
Right
the site easily.
Lever's starting to creep this way. Mizuno's on the rotate. You've got King close by already.
You should run.
Off that lockdown. Is it enough for draw the rotates? Look at that. They're not fully committing.
Bomb grenade out.
Nobody's really moving.
You move.
Here comes the Reckoning, though. King happy to stay stunned, but Demon 1 just dashed on the site. He might get chased down.
And remember, he's so aggressive in these areas. Just a couple of rounds ago, the updraft to get the kill. This time, it's not as flashy, but he takes the space anyway. They're going to fight back site. They have 3 who have scaled up.
Yeah, but the Pit, they need to fall off here.
They're ahead of it, but Ethan's glad to hold the line. Demon 1 getting one as well. 40 HP for this guy and just 8 bullets. The op in the hands of Taco, and this looks very familiar.
Yep. That was actually pretty impressive. The way they scale up in secret there. I'm thinking there's dissonance in the 2 ideas, the Pit there and then the push as well. You want to have all your players in the Pit, but that Pit is actually disgustingly good. It doesn't quite cover the spike though, so that's a bit of a question mark, but there's so much space for anybody to fight and push the post plant from EG there that you're barely ever going to get some space there if you're Leviathan on the retake. Leviathan's actually struggling here. Its score is still in their favor, but This is already a really solid half from EG. They're putting their best foot forward at this.
Turret out.
Even though they got eco'd last round, able to respond immediately on the gun round is fantastic. I really need to see Taco get more value out of this op. A lot of times I think to myself, how do you even fight against the double controller, double wall that's being played in this current meta? But constantly, these op players, these jet players are proving me wrong.
They continue to find value. I think the difficult thing for Taco is EG haven't really gone his way.
He's 0 for 3 in first engagements. He's going to try to find one against Demon right now.
Yep.
This wall, I mean, Leviathan's not changed their approach a single time so far this game. It's the constant harbor wall, keeping them out of mid. Taco chooses to take the space with the Viper Orb up, thinking that they're following up behind it. Instead, it's just a feint, but Taco gets the information. I'll take that for the dash.
Especially, too, when you know that if they do end up having to funnel A, there's all that Killjoy utility there.
I mean, how many times have we seen EG just bypass that, though, and actually be happy to do a 2-stage hit?
Yeah, that's a good point.
There's 3 players here, though. And Taco has not left that B-long area with 40 seconds left. He's going to take a long time to get back into this.
Nana was cleared out instantly, so Shy's
Mollies are still up.
Tight.
Blinded.
Mollies are 25 seconds. This could actually be devastating for EG. They're going to try to run through it.
King is holding the line. He's still playing ahead of the wall in the face of the flash. He hasn't given up any of that space. And for good reason, too. Shy was there to help.
One enemy remaining.
Nas was there to help.
And the high tide from Mizzino,
Seconds
too.
left.
In perfect unison. Leviathan. I mean, this is back and forth at this point. And sometimes the results make things clear. You can see why Taco was so happy to stay down B-long. Because they know with time running short, with none of those mollies popped, even though EG has had it and shown that they can get out past that molly.
Spike down.
Here you have the high tide, you have the
One enemy
cascade coming in
remaining.
at the perfect timing, and you're able to flood that really, really nicely.
Timeout call out from Evil Geniuses here as we're 6-4 in favor of Lev. And it's been, I mean, it's been an impressive performance from EG so far. And, you know, you look and know it's only 4 rounds. But again, remember, they got 0-13 here last time. So anything really is progress. But it's not just been progress. And it's not just been like a pity, like tip of the hat. Like, they've pushed Leviathan. They're in this game.
I think, too, showing resilience again.
Yeah.
That split comeback is something that EG has not really been able to pull out yet so far here in LA. Honestly, overall with this new roster, since lock-in too, it's consistently been throwing the game. It's consistently be losing big leads.
Yep.
So to see them come back on a lead, very impressive. To see them now fighting against Leviathan, who again is 4-0 on this map. Who again is one of the top teams in this league.
Turret out.
Is very impressive. There's definitely been growth since the addition of Demon 1 in this team.
But is the growth enough to close things out? Still yet to be determined on the other side of this timeout. A very verbose Potter.
Poison orb emitting.
Well, now we'll see what they change. This time they want to go heavy mid. And once again, I mean, it's early in the round, but it's just Calm who's going to be... Oh, he spotted him.
Ooh. I actually really like the
I've got
Calm
your
jumps past
trail.
with his Viper Orb down because he crossed already, so he put it down, but could have actually gotten the timing on Taco. Now the hit's coming through. All right, they're going really fast. Remember Demon's pathing last time.
Seekers, wall, everything. But that cascade is so good.
Yeah, backwards
from Mazzino.
cascade.
Yeah.
Through sewers.
And they can't get past it.
Alarm bot out.
High tide to cover two.
Ethan doesn't have a flash to get past it or anything like that, so they just dropped the alarm bot and decide they want to rotate elsewhere.
But the thing is, they've cleared 2 cascades out from Mazzino, and they've cleared all of the KJ util. So now the KJ has nothing to play with. And I think maybe you start to consider pushing here if you're shy. But Taco's got such a nasty angle. The flash is beautiful, though. And that one clears so much that they know where Taco's positioned, too. It's a
30
negative
seconds
info
left.
flash.
Kame get the timing on this. He's been waiting B-long this whole time.
Oh my goodness.
She spotted him.
Talk about timing.
It's a trade though.
Flank traded too. All up to Mazzino right now for a long time holding on the site, and he's actually given up his position.
They managed to get the spike down. Ethan trying to challenge backside, dancing around the wall as Demon One's gone hunting, and Mazzino is surrounded, suffocated, dropped.
Team Ace.
Another response from EG.
You're terrible.
Last round before the switch.
I was not expecting this out of EG. We might end this half tied. We might end this half 7-5. But either way, how could you have been wise to the fact that after a 13-0,
One enemy remaining.
they come back and are able to show this against Leviathan of all people?
I mean, they're just a different team. Com's timing was gorgeous.
And Busio got a kill on Sewers too. He was traded out, but
Op still in the hands of Taco. And once again, EG not testing early.
Taco's still without a first kill.
Just crazy the read EG have on this map.
Challenging deep. Getting that alarm bot into Art is already a big win. Mazzino's going to challenge again. We've seen him lose that. And surprising that he's staying out there without really committing to the fight. He's actually playing behind the wall, falling. Obviously, Calm controls that wall. Timing.
Enemy kill.
And that was the Killjoy that just swapped to the B side for the first time
Blinded.
since the second round.
Yep. No utility to have to get around
Careful
now,
here.
although historically they've shown comfort in doing that anyway.
Mazzino did get his Reckoning back online within a few rounds, so still have tools for the retake in the 4v5, and they're very strong in these situations. Leviathan are
Scout
actually
destroyed.
3 out of 4
30
attempts.
seconds left.
75% right now.
Demon One has blades, so bro. There's the Reckoning. Demon One's blades, not finding anything quite yet, but Bustio does. They're gonna clear backside, but Mazzino greets with 2.
Put down.
How have they gotten this scrappy situation going their way again, but can they snatch it right back? It's gotta be big from Jogamo, and so far it has been. Now Taco here. Spike not planted yet. He's playing so much time!
How?
But they still get the round!
How have EG just done this?
I don't understand.
6-6. EG putting all the super weak woes, all the standings woes behind them right now, and putting up a good fight on this first half. 6-6 is unbelievable given what we saw last week. I mean, just striking the difference.
Jogama goes massive here on the site.
10 seconds left.
And then for Taco, felt the need to make a play, goes aggressive, and then ultimately you just cannot win out the little 1v2. It was just too much. Demon One, we've talked about him a lot, and honestly, I want to take a short clip. I want to take a look at a short clip of his because we spoke with him about EG Super Week. I can't help but worry if history could repeat itself.
Well, Super Week, unfortunate losses. Both series we could have won, could have 2-0'd both times. Map 3 we were unlucky both times, but we definitely could have 2-0'd Furia and Loud, but a couple mistakes from like the Haven side against Loud. We can fix that up, but we'll be better. Not a bad like first showing against like one of the best teams in the world right now.
I mean, Ball the man said, we will be better. And yeah, yeah, they've been better.
That is quite obvious at this point. 6-6 first half. And the funny part is too, I mean, they're now going under this defense. We didn't get to see much of it. And now they have an opportunity to flip the script. They have an opportunity to 2-0 Leviathan here. I mean, we're not quite there yet. Leviathan is still super strong on the attack, but it is the defense where, I mean, we've seen incredible leads from Leviathan. So it's not quite over yet. But EG, are they on the verge of starting a miracle run to make it back towards playoffs? Is that what we're looking at here? It very may well be.
Perhaps on the precipice of something special. But you're right. They've got to be able to close it out, and that's been their linchpin. That's been their problem this entire time is can you close? Can you close? But it does feel like it has a slightly different flavor to it here, Bala, because they win map 1 and then they lose map 2, or it's close and then they get rolled. And this time it really feels like they're going toe-to-toe with Leviathan, who in some ways, we've talked a lot about EG, and for good reason, because they're playing well, they're sticking it to Lev, but I think we need to talk about the other side of the coin as well, because it feels like Lev almost are just like a shell of themselves. It seems like Lev sometimes shows up and they're just nasty, bro, and it seems like they're head and shoulders above everyone, and then other times they just look like they lack identity and they don't really know who they are.
I think that's what you're kind of hoping to shift. They started off really well in this league. I mean, very, very nicely. One of the top teams, one of the expected top teams. They made it to top 8 at lock-in. But now, yeah, struggling against EG. I mean, the 9th place team currently. And for Leviathan, I mean, yes, this game doesn't really determine much. Yes, they will be still in playoff contention.
Do they have anything to clear Demon off of the spot?
That is so beautiful, peeking in front of the high tide. And now Leviathan can't even clear past this, which is an easy goal to do with this Harbor Viper comp. And they can't even do that.
And I thought maybe Nasr uses a Trailblazer or a Flash to make sure there's no one deep back pillar, but
that's just gorgeous from EG, following up on the flank through Art. And also Ethan, to use his Trailblazer in that position, I mean, protocols are beautiful there. He knows there's so much pressure down B-Long. The most that's here is 1 or 2 players. They're not going to be able to follow up. Now, dash on me, we already know where Taco is. So he's comfortable for that, and they also go for the Art push. That is nasty stuff. Talk about little counterplays.
both controllers dead now. Finally, a kill going in favor of Lev.
Wave crashing.
Wow.
Yeah, Jogamo's made himself a little cubby.
He made himself a little neon wall there. This might go sideways still. 3v3 now. They've lost a few. But they still have control of the site. 25 seconds. They're healing instead of trying to push up on the site right now. And Shy's not even positioned.
The thing is, they still have Calm here, too. They still have some...
They're playing off the turret right now. How do you get in?
Both spotted. Turret
wall up.
10 seconds left. They're going to have to go fast about this. They peek on the other side of the wall, and they peek into their tents. Pistol for EG. And there you see the difference in the opening of the round and how things pan out at the end. Leviathan loses both of their controllers to start things off, where EG on the other side of that 3v3 still have Comp's wall to play around.
Very good point. And that might not have been a technical flawless round, but in my mind, that was a flawless pistol. All the ideas, beautiful from EG there. And then as well, late in the round, having the right ideas too. Just playing a 3-person peek on the turret, able to dodge the flash out of them too. The wall timing perfect. Leviathan struggling there, which is surprising. I mean, both these teams are great in pistols. EG historically very, very good. But there you see just all the plans working. Doubled up here at B-Link. Leviathan wants to come.
Jog won the turn.
The fake flash.
Yeah.
It's not working.
Nope, it looked like there was a setup for Jogamo to make the play, but Nas reflecting that he can use that Sheriff just as well.
Calm gonna make a play, is he? Up to mid, can he re-clear? I mean, you saw 4 people here. Dangerous moves.
Whoa.
Very dangerous moves, and it does not pay off. What a big risk.
They're
Still
rotating into Demon 1, and he's got a Guardian.
No way.
He's got dash. He's got health. He stays.
Last player standing.
All right, that was a little.
Same approach out of all of the players.
Yeah.
AG there, just reface and reface and reface. And that pistol round might just get replaced.
Yeah.
Back up to a tie. Just punch him.
I don't think we've seen a kill with that.
Spike planted.
With that yet. Nasra was 4, and you're right, traded right back, tied at 70 apiece. Paul, do you worry here, given EG's history, given what we just saw in that last round, where it feels like they're trying to make a play, trying to be aggressive, it feels like it's isolated, perhaps a bit forced and labored. I can't help but think, like, is this kind of their pitfall, right? So close, let's put them away, and you kind of make your own bed. Your own grave, in a sense.
It definitely could be. The 13-0, I mean, the 12-0 half happens in this configuration, right? So we didn't get to see much of the attack out of EG in that prior game. So maybe it was just a strong attack, and the defense is where the pitfalls are. And have they fixed anything? That's the big question. Obviously that pistol worked out really nicely, but there's some misplays there on that anti-eco. I mean, a lot of misplays actually.
What are LEV waiting for here?
They've got the spread, looking to see if EG are going to push on their eco. And I don't think that's totally EG style. Obviously, they can go fast with Demon sometimes. But I think they more rely on some trap plays, contact plays. More of a Leviathan style approach to this eco round.
Just classics for EG here. No frenzies, no sheriff,
Yes,
no
but
nothing.
there is utility. Ethan gets and keeps one flash in his pocket. And no info garnered there. But they're still staying.
They're ahead of this wall.
Here comes the flash. There's going to be a massive swing.
Sectioned off by one. The Coke keeping Taco alive. The Guardian is just too good in a situation like this against Classics. What can you possibly do? A flawless round for LEV.
They walk into the stack and they make it look silly. And I think all the vision blockers there make that sky flash that Ethan threw out really difficult to find a lot of value from, because all the angles are chopped up, right? So the EG players there backside struggling to find the right places, find the players who are flashed. In fact, it looked like only one player was flashing that whole thing.
Yeah, I believe you're right.
And the sky flash is definitely not the most reliable in terms of actually getting pop flashes off. And with the meta as it currently is, Sky's definitely the best initiator in terms of like the drone. And having the versatility of the flash and the seekers and the drone itself, this is easily the best drone, but
I've got your
a lot of space gained in art.
Yeah, but Comp's positioning is really nice. Oh, the Seekers are going to give it away. Taco dashes out onto the side, all that utility proc, and they're going to pinch into Art.
Yeah, that's really nice from Taco, but still not the site. And we actually have the KJ out back site. Boostio's here.
And they do know. Oh, they do know. King drops some spike planted.
That right there is experience, knowing that, okay, sometimes we throw the cove a little too deep and they have a pocket to play in the back of sight. King checks it. Retake attempt from EG. This one's going to be tough. Here comes the cascade. Ethan's following up on it, but look at Taco's position. Way up on the box. Post plants secured.
They're so well spread. Oh, that's a big one out from Ethan, though, but nice trade from Taco. You were just mentioning his positioning.
Cove's not used from Dogamo yet. Surprisingly, there it is. Spamming it down and instantly taken down. Demon One wants to save now if he can, and he doesn't.
He got up real far. I thought for sure he was going to call for the save earlier, but not able to find value at the op. Drops it. It's not picked up by anyone, but it seems like EG are going to be able to save one weapon.
Very clean execute out from Leviathan there. I mean, you mentioned the pinch onto Art. That one is definitely not something that a lot of Jets are doing, a lot of teams are doing, but it's a very clean way to get an advantage on the site. You kind of ignore the site for the time being and make sure that you can claim valuable, valuable map control. EG, one rifle here, another eco attempt, and there's aggression in sights. Look how deep Shy's gotten this alarm bot all the way down, and they heard it go down, so Comp's looking for it. I like how they're trying to set up Comp for getting a kill, but he was way exposed there. If he goes down, that's the gun, and they're not going to be able to recover that too.
The aforementioned player 2 points away from having his Viper spit online. And they're just going to rotate right around each other.
Yeah, it looks like they kind of want to do the same type of stack, I think, because of the early Belong presence. But Leviathan happy to choose something different here on the anti-eco, given they just went towards B. They go for that Belong control. So condition the same type of idea. But they're potentially going to find Boostio alone on this A side.
The alarm bot's there, and Ethan's close by. All he has is a stinger, though. They drop the Reckoning. His timing is good, but the gun's just better from Nosworth.
There's that discipline that we're talking about, that coordination. from Leviathan. Now we're just watching the backside as the rest of the team is scaling up behind. Or sorry, in
30
front.
seconds left.
Giacomo.
Dude, they're just Sheriff Demons, bro. Just when it seems like there's no way they get any value,
Ooh,
they're good for at least one.
they just pinched the Demon 1 there. And they have picked up a gun.
What is he looking for? He's got another. That's a deep cove. Instantly cleared out. He finds space in it, but he just faces 3. It's too much. It's way too much.
And AG, I mean, his defensive side woes. We had the wrong narrative the entire time, it might feel like right now. Potter's calling the breaks.
Last one available, too.
Will we see this resilience that we saw from EG on Split? Because right now, 10-7, it's not insurmountable. But they're getting pulled around the map in very, very nice ways. And talk about a depth of strat play from Leviathan. Right now, it's really looking nice. It's looking super clean. And look, actually, surprisingly, Owner has nothing to say in this timeout. Leaving it to King. Some of the things I'm seeing from King as well. I mean, clearing that little gap that was mistakenly put in the cove in the round prior. Those types of things means he has a very, very, very good read on the game. Best part about King is, I mean, delivers on the strat side, but also is constantly delivering in terms of individual performance as well. It's funny because you can't get a read on whether he's feeling good about the calls or not, because always his individual performance is good. A lot of other IGLs, you're like, okay, he's not playing the best. Maybe that's hurting him when it comes to calling. 10-7. Still big tools from EG. I would love to see Calm reactively put down the pit on that B side.
You could do that. You got an op in the hands of Demon 1.
Oh, excuse me, he doesn't have his pit.
One away.
The Reckoning, yeah.
One away, one away.
So he's going to put down the one-way, the standard setup, and they're actually going for some A control here with Demon 1 opping through Art.
Aggressive A control. You imagine they want to fight to get the orb in the hands of Bustio, so he's going to have that lockdown available. Meanwhile, Lev fully sent towards B.
Flash will spot that this is a pseudo default from Leviathan. The fact that there's one player over towards A while they're continuing to pressure B long. Fast taking that orb and just falling back. Taco cleared up the cubby. And that Sky Trailblazer right now might get some false info. The turret's way ahead. Spots Ethan. Almost gets spammed down. The rotate has been pulled. Demon 1 just rotated B-Link. And left Ethan. Left Bustio on their own here on this A side. Can they fall back to actually use the tools that are available to them on the retake? Seekers, lockdown, those sorts of things.
Yeah, big tools.
They did fall back just now.
Blades online for Taco. The Seekers first used. And the lockdown now too, with 30 seconds left. I mean, that...
30
They're gonna
seconds
go for a
left.
plant.
They're committing to it.
I mean, King might get locked down here. Can he get out of a man? Yes. Timing is okay. Counter pit.
King's pit. But Jogamo has a Reckoning. And that could be problematic. You've got Combo's going to be on the flank as well, but again, the round falling apart for EG.
Look at this flank from Com. This could change things.
Yeah, but the timing's got to hit. The timing's got to hit, and it looks like it may.
Oh, no!
Oh, gosh. That's right. Jogamo's one. Com gets it the harder time, but he gets it anyway.
But the pit's still up here. What?
Shy, good for one.
Nice.
He's going to have to be hero, but Com Spam gets the kill.
I mean, it's labored, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's scrappy.
They had to work for that.
What'd they invest? They invested every ult except comms, I believe.
And Com just got it in that round. You're right. The lockdown, the reckoning, everything came in.
Blades.
Demon 1, I mean, he could have right-clicked there.
Just so
Barely
chaotic.
found him.
Oh. EG's still in this thing.
Yeah, but look at the money. I mean, they are super on the edge of being broke here. Giacomo has no util. Vandal light armor. And he only has a high tide. That's the signature ability.
I mean, they've played on the edge this entire time. This time they're going to challenge Demon One, who has that op. Stops right before he
There's
gets
a gap.
angle, but there is a gap. You're right! And it's a kill onto Taco.
That might be the most missed cascade. And sometimes the attackers are able to take advantage of it, leave a gap on purpose, but
Yeah.
that one clearly, I mean, they were hoping that was covered.
You should
And look at all the respect they showed. They ran all the way back to the middle of the map.
And this is what I was saying about this Viper's Pit from Calm. I mean, I would much prefer a reactive one where you can guarantee value. Leviathan's so good at scaling though, so maybe not even a choice.
Oh, Mizzino, so well played. Finds the smallest of windows to swing out, and he gets a second. But Demon One still has op,
On
and
flank
Calm is
again.
once again on the flank. You're absolutely right.
What is that from King?
Shy's dead. Shy's so dead.
There's not time though. There's not time.
One enemy remaining.
So Leviathan bailed out there. Because of the time, I think he's running for
The op, yeah.
the op there from Demon One, not able to pick it up. This gap, I mean, hurts, but it's not even a big factor. Given the time situation.
Enemy remaining.
Oh, Demon One actually lost a lot of time there. I don't think it was enough, but
He circled his way around, though.
that
It
was
would have been close.
That was
Yeah.
at least a half a second there running around.
And look at the buy from EG. A rifle back in the hands of Calm, but just pistols.
And no ults. To survive with no ults against the Leviathan, that's probably going to win this anti-eco.
Toxins going up.
It's been very good at them so far.
Calm considered getting real aggressive there. That's the only rifle they had. Now dropped. By himself, too. Not in a position where somebody can pick up the gun after him.
I suggest you move.
Reckoning now invested, the wall going up, and an attempted delay from EG, from Jogamo, but I mean, they should just be able to bully their way through this. The one sliver of hope rests in the hands of Demon One and his sheriff. Busio has one as well, though. But this is just too difficult, I think.
That's a nice flash re-clear, but yeah, I mean, they're all swinging right now while multiple people are in utility.
Flawless.
Anti-eco flawless again. That's multiple that we've seen. EG not finding any significant
Match
cut
point.
through in the bank of Leviathan. And I mean, 2 rounds won, the pistol and that retake that we just saw on that A side, which was, I mean,
One enemy remaining.
It was insane.
it was lucky in a sense.
Yeah, yeah.
Some of the timing worked out. Some of the shots worked out. It was full spray through the Viper Pit. And looks like we're going to map 3 here.
Light armor in the hands of 2 members of EG. No ults really to play around. But this is the play they choose to make. Demon One playing aggressively here across art with Calm close by. Ethan has 2 flashes and Trailblazer. He has plenty of utility, but I mean, that Trailblazer finds very little. Demon One's in a spot to make a play. Is there help? He can dash out. Whew. Nice. Calm's on the swing. That's so well done.
Turn down.
There's a chance.
Yeah, but they've got to maintain this. They've thrived in the
screen
scrap
down.
before.
I mean, Leviathan is very few options. I like that King is putting himself into a tough angle to expect him in. But looking at where Shy is, he has to recover the
I got the
spike.
spike.
Has to honestly work a pick on his own too.
Yeah.
So you're relying a lot on Shy being able to not only get in position back towards King, but also find a kill. I love how EG's playing. They're so passive here, allowing them to go for that plant, allowing them to put themselves into predictable positions.
And also not
30
run the
seconds
risk of
left.
losing a gun. Right? The economy is going to become a key part of this conversation. If EG are able to pull off this comeback and take us to OT, they've got to preserve all the weapons that they can.
Whoa, King, how do you expect a high-low there?
That's insane.
How? It's just beautiful.
Calm took a lot of damage
Placing
too.
alarm bot.
High alarm bot.
Not like
Player
this.
standing.
Shy flashed. Spike planted, and they're just going to try to overwhelm them with numbers. They lose 2 guns, but they get the round.
Still in this. On the verge of losing. They're still in this, on the verge of going to map 3. EG, again showing some resilience. I keep thinking in my head, they took down one map, but I keep thinking in my head right now, not again.
Yeah.
Not again.
Same.
So I can't imagine the players on stage aren't allowing that to creep in. That would be something.
Low key same here. Demon 1 has blades. Surprised he's maybe about a shorty, or I don't know. He doesn't have. Oh, there it goes. Shorty drop. And they want to go aggressive down long in the face of a flash. The thing is, Nosver's here, and again, he should have utility to clear this out, but Taco just wins the duel outright.
Right there.
And you might think that's, I mean, only knives. You didn't lose too much there. But I mean, they're on the precipice of losing here.
Yeah, and it's their star.
And an extra body to add to the setup provides so much.
So Lev decides to throw the brakes on this thing. Wait to see if EG want to make a play, perhaps try to do something else aggressive, force a hand. And it's patient. I mean, there's not a single peek down long. There's nothing like that. It seems like they may just be waiting for King's gas to come back up and then play around the wall or something.
I mean, this is tough for EG. They have not won a single 4v5 on this map.
Your trail.
0 for 9.
The 10-1, now the most important, the most pivotal. Taco's done a good job of dropping a lot of utility, but Taco just dashes into it, disrespecting any of what's before him.
That's risky. I mean, they didn't cut out the site very well there.
Oh, Ethan just swings out. Jogamo swinging out as well, and all of a sudden numbers their way.
Great cascade to scale with. Oh, but he takes too much. 14 seconds.
0 for 9, as you said. Can the 10 time be the charm? Yes, it can!
Again at the perfect time. EG not done with this yet. As soon as you thought. As soon as we thought, as soon as Leviathan thought that this game might have gotten closed out. Fantastic hold in the 4v5.
One enemy.
They're hanging around this thing. They're making a run at it. Demon 1 with the op. And now they have 2 key ults here in Jogamo's and in Ethan's.
We want to get aggressive down B long. Last time it didn't work, but this time he has the op. Taco!
Oh, he misses!
Oh my goodness!
He's
Fast
gotta get
reckoning!
away!
He gets out!
By the skin of his teeth, stays alive.
What?
King cannot. Now Demon gets healed up a little bit, still has the op in play. Calm ultimately meeting his death. Jogamo's going to make a play.
What is this wiggly wall from Jogamo?
He's creeping around the
What?
globe. He's right there! And every bullet goes wide!
One enemy remaining.
These could be the finishing touches. It's just an op in the hands of Demon 1. Shorty, dead. Taco with 3. We're going the distance.
EG shows a strong face in the end, but Leviathan continued their undefeated Pearl on this map. 5-0 now. But now they go to where questions have been asked of them over and over. They used to be Kings of Ascent, but they've lost a few of those in recent times. Lost to Sentinels, lost to Furia. It's no longer their playground. And they just eke by on what should have been an easy win. EG looking very good. But again, the thought creeps into my mind. Can they close a series? Can they close out an upset? They've gotten so close twice now.
It reminds me of the recipe that Mimi gave us earlier on the desk. They look good game 1. Game 2's competitive, and you wonder, man, they should have won it, but, you know, a couple of things don't go their way, and then they just get obliterated map 3. And yeah, it's a little bit different here. The circumstances are, given what you were just saying about the fact that they're going into Ascent, but the only question left to be answered, is this a new chapter for EG, or just the same old story? We'll be right back.